Hello, DJ. Welcome to Tribe. I'm your DJ mentor. I'm going to teach you the fundamentals of DJing. First off, check out your decks. This is a top-of-the-line DJ system. Don't worry, I know there's tons of buttons. We'll go slowly and explain each of them. It's time to load your tracks. Go ahead and load both of your tracks. Click the play button on deck 1 to your left. Sounds good. Now click the play button on deck 2 to your right. Grab the crossfader and move it left and right to fade between the two tracks. Now adjust the EQs by twisting the knobs for the highs, mids, and lows. Awesome job! You make me want to bust out some moves.
Right guys, my name is Jonathan, also known as Ellerskins, the DJ Tutor. I'd now like to show you what you have in front of you. You have directly in front of you an industry standard DJ mixer that you will find in pretty much every single super club around the world. To the right and the left of the mixer, you have what's known as the CDJ players. And again, these are industry standard around the world. And pretty much you will always find the three together. What I'd like you to do now is click on any widget above either the mixer in front of you or one of the CD players. And as soon as you click on there, you will get information on the area highlighted. On your DJ mixer, you have right at the bottom, dead center, something called the crossfade. You can move the crossfade from the right or to the left, or you can also leave it in the middle. This is how it works in a very simple way of explaining. Let's imagine you have channel 4 up for the right hand CD player, and you have channel 1 up for the left hand CD player. If your crossfade is engaged and you have the crossfade in the center position, both sides can be heard at the same time. Alternatively, if you move your crossfade to the right, now only channel 4 can be heard, but not channel 1. Slowly then, let's imagine you move the crossfade over to the other side. While you're doing this, you can still hear channel 4, but slowly you'll start to hear channel 1 until you move the crossfade all the way as far as it can go to the left hand side. And now you can only hear channel 1. So you can do this in a slow motion or you can do it fast. Some club DJs will use the crossfade and move it slowly to form a good smooth transition. Alternatively, some scratch turntablist DJs will move the crossfade quite fast to get a good snappy sound. Okay, in front of you, you have the industry standard DJ mixer. Let's have a look at the 4 channels or the 4 faders. These are exactly like volume controls. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So for example, you could have 4 separate audio inputs. When all of the volume controls are brought all the way towards you, as far down to the bottom of the mixer as possible, even with audio playing, no sound can be heard through the main PA system. But slowly, as you bring either 1 fader, 2, 3, or 4 up, slowly the volume will increase. The further you bring these faders up, the louder the volume will get. And then the more you bring them down once they're at the top, the quieter the volume will get. Bottom left-hand corner of the mixer, you have your headphone area. There's a small plug where you will place your headphone socket into. This can either be a 1/4 inch jack or a mini jack, the sort of jack plug you would put into a mobile phone. Above there, you have your level control. This is also a volume control. If the level control, the volume control, is set to 7 o'clock, this means that there will be no volume coming through your headphones, even if music is playing and the audio is coming through the PA. If that level is set to 7, you won't get any volume through your headphones. And it's always advisable to make sure the level is set to 7 o'clock even before you put your headphones on. Because if it's set any higher and you put your headphones on, it could be very loud and damage your ears. So as follows, this is the best procedure. Plug your headphones in, put your headphones on. Once your headphones are on, slowly move the dial in a clockwise motion, and slowly but surely the volume of your headphones will start to get louder and you'll be able to hear some music. Above the level dial for your headphones, you have the mixing dial. When the mixing dial is set to the Q position, and let's say, for example, the headphone level is set at an audible level so you can hear some music, with the mixing dial set to Q, you will only hear the music that you have queued up on either channel 1, 2, 3 or 4. But if you turn the mixing dial clockwise, slowly as you turn that dial, you will start to hear not only the track or tracks that you have queued up using the Q buttons on the mixer, but you will also be able to hear whatever is being played through the main PA. So the more you turn that dial, the more you will be able to hear the entire mix instead of just hearing the track that you've queued up. On the right hand side of the mixer, we have the effects area. Let's start bottom right. The first thing you'll see right at the bottom right hand corner is a circle. When that's highlighted, that means that the effect you're using has been engaged. Above there, we have the level depth dial. Generally, DJs tend to keep that at 12 o'clock, meaning that the effect, A, will not overpower the music, and B, you'll be able to hear the effect in the music. Above that is time. Now this will allow you to set the time that you want the effect to be in relation to the track. So for example, if you want the time of your effect to be in the exact time signature of the track, for example, the track is playing at 120 BPM, then the time dial will allow you to adjust your effect so it matches the exact time signature, the exact timing of the track that's playing. Above there, we have a switch that will let you choose the channel that you want the effect to be on. So for example, 1 is channel 1. Switch to 2, the effect will now be on channel 2. 3, channel 3. 4, channel 4. You can also set the effect to the master output. That means that even if you've got 2, 3 or 4 channels up, 4 turntables, 3 or 2, no matter what, the effect will be over whatever channel is up. For example, if you have channel 1 and 2 up, the effect will be on channel 1 and 2. If you have channel 1 up, 3 and 4, the effect that you've chosen will be on 1, 3 and 4. Above the effect selection dial, we have the effects dial itself. By turning this dial clockwise or anti-clockwise, we can choose the desired effect. On the left-hand side of the CD player, in the middle, we have what are known as the sound color effects. These can be engaged very simply by pressing one of the effects, and then directly to the right of them, below the low frequency dial on each of the channels, we have the sound color effect dial. Ideally, these need to be set to 12 o'clock. Once set at 12 o'clock, even if one of the sound color effects is engaged, no effect will be able to be heard. What you need to do is, with two of your fingers, turn the dial that you want the effect to take place over, either clockwise or anti-clockwise. The more you turn the dial, the more you will be able to hear that effect. Top of the mixer, we have the master level volume. If that dial is set to 7 o'clock, even if you have music playing through either or all of the CD players, no one will be able to hear the sound at all, simply because the master level volume, when it's set to 7 o'clock, will give no audio through your main PA. But slowly, as you turn the dial clockwise, the sound will start to get louder and louder through the main PA. In the center of the mixer, around about the right hand side, we have the balance dial. This always needs to be set to 12 o'clock, giving you a good stereo sound. If that dial is turned to the 5 o'clock position, you will only get sound through the right hand side. If that dial is set to the 7 o'clock position, you'll only get sound through the left hand side. So for example, if it's set to the 7 o'clock position and you slowly start to move the dial clockwise, very slowly, the volume in the right hand side, as you turn the dial towards the 12 o'clock position, will rise until eventually, when the dial is set to the 12 o'clock position, you'll have an equilibrium in the sound, giving you a true stereo audio quality experience. In the center of the mixer, we have 5 buttons with Q. If you press one of those buttons and it becomes highlighted in amber, you're now able to listen to that channel, so long as of course there's music playing through it, through your headphones. The beauty about Q is very simple. Let's imagine we have the right hand CD player through channel 4, the left hand CD player through channel 1. And let's also imagine that the right hand volume is up and the people, the public dancing, are listening to a track from the right hand CD player through channel 4. If you then press the Q button on channel 1 with the volume down, and you have your headphones on and you have the level headphone dial set so you can hear music through your headphones, you and only you will be able to hear the music from channel 1. The public won't. Alternatively, as you start to move the volume up on channel 1, with the Q button still highlighted in amber, you, of course, will still be able to hear that channel, that music being played through channel 1, but so too will members of the public. At any given time, you can press just one of the Q buttons, or 2, 3, or 4. Alternatively, there's a Q button on the master volume. By pressing that, you're now able to hear exactly what the public are listening to as well. Now I'd like to show you the EQ area of the mixer, and that's in the center of the mixer, but relatively close to the top. We have bass, also known as low. We have mid, and we have high, also known as treble. Above there, we have a dial called the trim. The low sound is the equivalent of, let's say, thunder in the background. It's a very low kind of rumbly sound, more associated with the bass in any dance music. Mid is more like guitar music, vocals. And high is more like the sound of a hand clap, or birds tweeting, or cymbals crashing. And above there we have the trim. Now this is a designated volume control for each channel, and you should find a trim above every single channel. Below the trim on every channel 1, 2, 3 and 4, you will have 4 treble dials under each one. You'll also have the 1, 2, 3, 4 mid dials under, again, each of the channels, and low 1, 2, 3, 4. So every single channel has got its own low, bass, mid, high and treble. Again, high and treble, low and bass is exactly the same thing. Let's have a look top left-hand corner at the microphone level volume. On this mixer, you can place in the back of the mixer 2 separate microphone inputs. This is really important. Before even using the microphone, you need to make sure that the levels are set to 0, which is the 7 o'clock position. Also, make sure that the button that will turn the microphone on is set to the off position, which is at the left hand side. The middle is on and the right is talk over. Let's first of all set up the microphone. Plug your microphone in, make sure the levels are at 7 o'clock, and make sure the switch is set to the off position. Now what I want you to do is place the switch to on. Depending on if you've plugged into microphone input 1 or 2 will determine which dial you turn up. So let's pretend you've plugged into the back of the mixer into channel 1. Slowly then you start to talk in the microphone, and while you're talking, slowly start to move the microphone channel from the 7 o'clock position clockwise and slowly start to move the dial. As you move the dial and while you're talking, your audio sound, your voice, should start to get louder and louder and louder through the main PA. You need to stop it at a point where you don't get any whistling sound, and also you don't want to really overpower the music. Then once you've set your audio level, turn the switch to off, and now you're good to go. So at any time now, you know that if you want to talk through the microphone and have good audio and no feedback, you can press the switch to the on position, and now you can talk. Alternatively, if you move that switch to the right hand side to the talk over position, now what happens is while you talk in the microphone, the volume of the music or whatever audio is being played through the main PA will dip automatically while you talk. And then as soon as you stop talking, the music will go back to its original volume. Again, once you've finished talking on the microphone, switch the switch to the off position, which is on the left hand side. On the left hand side at the bottom of the CD player, we have 2 large buttons and 4 small ones. The first large button right at the bottom left hand corner of the CD player is your play pause. That will allow you to play a track and also to pause it. Above that you have the cue button. So for example, if you play the track and you want to cue up the track in a different position instead of at the beginning of the track, all you've got to do is press play pause so the track will start. Then press play pause again, the track will stop, and then press cue. Now you have cued the track at a new position. Above there we have search. So while the track is playing, if you press the right hand button, that will search through the track while it's playing, and it'll skip quite fast forward through the track. Alternatively, if you press the button with arrows facing to the left hand side, that will skip through the track backwards, so you'll be able to skip through the track that you've already played. Above there you have track search. So for example, if you've queued up one track good to go, but you don't want to play that one, if you press the button on the right hand side, that will skip to the next track. So for example, if you've queued up track 3 and you press the button on the right, you will skip to track 4. Alternatively, if you press the button on the left and you're at track 3, you will skip to track 2. Just below where you place your SD card, you have some buttons with hotkey. Now, while the track is playing, if you press any one of those hotkeys at any given time while the track is playing, you will form a new hotkey where you pressed that hotkey. So for example, at the beginning of a phrase, at the beginning of the vocals, at the beginning of the bass line, and you can set quite a few hotkeys. Once you've pressed that button, then that will set the hotkey. When you press it again, the track will jump back to that hotkey wherever it is in the track. Let's have a look at loading some music. On the CD player, you can load music in many ways. Firstly, you can load music by placing a CD in the front of the CD player. Alternatively, top left-hand side, you can either play music via a USB, also known as a thumb drive. Alternatively, below that, you have a little compartment where you can place your SD card. Directly in the center of the CDJ player, we have this circle. This is known as the jog wheel. While in vinyl mode and on the CD player, at the right hand side, around about a third of the way down, you have a button with jog mode. If you press that and you have vinyl highlighted in blue, all of a sudden the turntable here, the platter, becomes exactly the same as a vinyl turntable. If you put your hand on the top of the turntable while the track is playing, you can stop the track. If you move your hand forward, you can make the track move forward in real time depending on the speed of your hand movement. So for example, if you move your hand forward slowly, the track will move slowly forward. If you move your hand backwards, the track will move backwards. So of course, clockwise, forward, anti-clockwise, backwards. While in vinyl mode as well, if you move the jog wheel on the side clockwise, you'll be able to make the track go slightly faster depending on the speed that you move the jog wheel. For example, if you move the jog wheel slowly clockwise, the track will seem to speed up slowly. If you move your hand on the jog wheel clockwise quite fast, the track will seem to go faster. Alternatively, if you move the jog wheel on the side anti-clockwise, the track will seem to slow down. And again, the same principle. Slowly, the track will seem to slow down slowly. If you move the jog wheel fast, the track will seem to slow down even more. On the bottom right-hand side of the CD player, we have what's known as the pitch control, and directly in the center of the pitch control, we have the slider. If you move the slider away from you to the minus position, that will make the speed of the track that you're playing slow down. If you bring it towards you, it will make the speed of the track start to go faster. So center point is the exact speed that the producer made the track originally in the studio. Move the pitch fader, the slider, away from you to the minus position, you'll slow it down all the way up to the top and you will speed it up. The more you move it down, the slower it will go. The more you move it up, the faster it will go. At the top of your CDJ player, you have the screen area. This is the part of the CD player that will give you all the information you need. For example, the BPM, the time you have of the entire track, maybe while the track's playing, the time you have left in the track. Also, it will give you the key of the track. It will also give you a wave format of the track, and it will give you title and artist and genre. But that's all depending on how you have tagged your files. Top of the mixer, we have the master level volume. If that dial is set to 7 o'clock, even if you have music playing through either or all of the CD players, no one will be able to hear the sound at all, simply because the master level volume, when it's set to 7 o'clock, will give no audio through your main PA. But slowly, as you turn the dial clockwise, the sound will start to get louder and louder through the main PA. In the centre of the mixer, around about the right hand
We call them lumberjacks. You know, Biggie said he had the hat to match. We call them lumberjacks. You know, Biggie said he had the hat to match. We call them lumberjacks. You know, Biggie said he had the hat to match. We call them lumberjacks. You know, Biggie said, 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 you know, Biggie said the other had to match. Move it.
You can think of psychedelics as a scientific instrument to explore the range of consciousness. Psychedelics are dangerous, not because they're dangerous drugs, it's because they make you have dangerous ideas.
Right.
They make you doubt the program and the agenda of the uber class. This is a war on consciousness, and these plants are our bioweapons.
He's heating up!
Kill people, ours force people to think.
Right.
I'm back. Only need the creep off me. Don't know who we're gonna see, but I heard the bad people CDs. 8 quid for a GT. Probably gonna spill it on my jeans. Don't really care honestly, cause I only need the creep off me. Weekday, all day. UK, okay, just vibes. Eastside, all day, all night, all night, all night, all night, all night. I don't stop, I don't sleep.
All night. 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 All night.
slice. But she's the girl you can take her home to mother. But she don't want your bread, brother. You better think twice. See, love is see the heat. I will be her brother. You want to fly? Take her home to mother. Brother, you better think twice. See, love is see the heat. I will be her brother. She's the girl I want to share my dreams. I don't care if she can't fly over things. I don't care if you can't see her wings. Watch her fly.
is a compliment. Got a house full of homies. Why I feel so deep.
When I'm alone, I'd rather be with you. These other niggas, I'll be right by your side. Till the time in the past.
Okay, hold up, wait a minute.
All good, just a week ago. Crew at my house, and we party every weekend. So on the radio, that's my favorite song. Make me bounce around like I don't know, like I won't be here long. Now the thrill is gone, got no patience, cause I'm not a doctor. Don't go, why is you lying? Girl, why you move faster? Yeah, me casa su casa. Gotta strip it like Gaza. Got so high off volcanoes, now the flow is so lava. Yeah, we spit that saliva. iPhone got message from Fiverr. Either the head is so hydra, or we let bygones be bygones. My God, you pay for your friends. I'll take that as a compliment.
Toda la noche rompemos, al otro día volvemos. Tú sabes cómo lo hacemos, baby.
This is the rhythm of the night.
Baby, tonight's like fuego. We bout to spend a dinero. We party to the extremo, baby.
This is the rhythm of the night.
Toda la noche rompemos, al otro día volvemos. Tú sabes cómo lo hacemos, baby.
This is the rhythm of the night.
Baby, tonight's like fuego. We bout to spend a dinero. We party to the extremo, 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 extremo. Ritmo. The rhythm, the rebel, styles upon styles upon styles, I got several. Born to be wild cause I live like a dead devil. Live it up, hit 'em up, that's a scenario. Tupac, I get around like a
therefore I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect, we spend it with no shame, we blow that. Like Coltrane, we in here, like Rogaine, or leave it, like Cobain. And when I'm long gone, whole crew singing swan song, cause we all just ticking time bombs. Got a Lambo like a bronze mom, and no matter where all of my friends go, Emily, Bim, and Lorenzo, all of them people my kinfo, at least I think so. Can't tell, cause when the checks clear, they're not here, cause they don't care. It's kinda sad, but I'm laughing, whatever happens
masterpiece, to waste time with the masterpiece. You should be rolling with me, you should be rolling with me. You're a real life fantasy, you're a real life fantasy. But you're moving so carefully, let's start living dangerously. Talk to me, baby. I'm rolling up the mirrors and take baby home. Keep on hoping with the cake by the ocean. Walk for me, baby. I'll be pretty, you'll be Naomi for her. Let's move our minds and go fucking crazy. Keep on hoping with the cake by the ocean. Goddamn. See you licking frosting from your own hands. Want another taste? I'm begging, yes, ma'am. I'm tired of all this candy on the dry land. Dry land, oh. Waste time with the masterpiece, to waste time with the masterpiece. You should be rolling me, you should be rolling me. You're a real life fantasy, you're a real life fantasy. But you're moving so carefully, let's start living dangerously. Talk to me, baby. I'm rolling up on this sweet baby. Let's move on now and go fucking crazy. Keep on hoping with the cake by the ocean. Walk for me, baby. I'll be pretty, you'll be Naomi for her. Let's move on now and go fucking crazy. Keep on hoping with the cake by the ocean.
There's 2 instructions I need you to follow. When I say red light, I need you to stop. When I say green light, I need you to go.
Red light. Green light.
Now when the strobe light hits, I want you to move like this. Now when the strobe light hits, I want you to move like this. Hit the strobe. 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 Now. We know we've all been through kindergarten, people, so we know what a red light and a green light is. So when I say red light, stop.
Red light. Green light.
Now when the strobe light hits, I want you to move like this. Now when the strobe light hits, I want you to move like this. Hit the strobe. 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 Hit the strobe.
Green light.
in every way. You keep me in a state of daze. Your kisses make my skin feel weak. I'm always melting in your heat. Then I'm so like a bird in the wind. Oh, I glide as I'm flying through heaven. Me, amor, don't you know? My love, I want you so. Sugar, you make my soul complete. The rapture tastes so sweet.
here to be reporting it. It's hard for us here to be reporting this to you. Do not venture outside for any reason. It's hard for us here to be reporting it. Do not venture outside for any reason. It's hard for us here to be reporting it. It's hard for us here to be reporting it. Do not venture outside for any reason. It's hard for us here to be reporting it. It's hard for us here to be reporting this to you. Do not venture outside for any reason.
I would go out tonight, but I haven't seen the light. This man said it's gruesome that someone so handsome